Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday, which means it's time for a Talk Magic. And I have two people with me today. That's right, you're getting two for the price of one. You have the greatest father and son double act in the entire Magic community. Two people who are probably two of my favorite people in Magic. We're talking about Harry Nardi and Peter Nardi, who literally continue to take the Magic World by storm. Alakazam continues to grow strength to strength to strength. It seems that the ceiling has been shattered and it's just on the way to the moon and then some. And they have made a huge announcement a week ago, and I've got them on here today to talk about everything that's happening with Alakazam, everything that's happening with this huge announcement that takes place next year. We're going to delve deep into that, and I couldn't be more excited to chat to them, my good friends Harry Nardi and Peter Nardi from Alakazam. Guys, how you doing? You okay?
We are great. So excited to be here.
Yeah.
Great to see you. I haven't seen you in ages.
I know. I said to somebody the other day, I haven't had an Alakazam release this year. I've had my name on Alakazam products. I've done a lot of stuff for you, like Nightmare Recharge came out recently, but I haven't actually had an Alakazam product yet. So I know that that's 25,000 that we either have in production, due to be filmed, edited. I know there's like literally a million different products, but so far this year, no.
Well, there's one coming out this month.
Yeah, there is definitely one this month for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
And we've got, like you said, there's plenty more in the pipeline. There was one that was supposed to be out at the Blackpool before last.
Oh, yeah.
Which is due to come out in the next couple of months, finally.
The amount of people that have been asking about that.
Yeah.
That's just crazy, honestly. Yeah, how long it's taken, but
yeah.
that's what happens when you do something different, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what happens. Just trying to get it made properly.
Exactly. But the one that's coming out very, very shortly, I found out that it was coming out this month because my phone lit up like a Christmas tree yesterday because people were like, what's this trick that Alakazam are talking about? I was like, okay, right, they must have said something. But yeah, it's I'm very excited about that one. I think people are going to love it. It's going to be
yeah, it's great.
I watched the trailer for the first time the other day, and it's so good, isn't it? Proper commercial, just good moments of magic, and the perfect transition.
It is the perfect transition. And you'll have to let me know. I know you're not doing live launches for every single one, but if there's a live launch show that you want me to be a part of, just give me the date and let me know.
Yeah, we've got a live launch show at the end of the month where we'll be talking about it as well. So we'll get you on there to talk about it and demonstrate it and do what you do best.
That's absolutely fine. And I want to talk to you about everything Alakazam before we get to the big announcement. First of all, thank you so much for coming on the channel. Harry, I know how busy you are. You're in the shop, you're running around, you're making deals, you're running everything. Pete, I know how busy you are. You're on your 20th holiday?
I know where this is going.
25th.
I don't know where he's going.
You had a holiday last week, didn't you, Pete? You had a good time?
Yeah.
And what are you doing as of tomorrow? You going back on holiday?
As of Monday, we're going to Copenhagen. But to be fair, that was a little trip that I booked for Jenny's Christmas present.
I said to him, I said, I'm going out on Saturday. You're right to have buddy. No, we're going France.
We're going France Saturday. Yeah, so
Louise.
We're going France. Now, bearing in mind, these have all been booked ages ago, and they've all just managed to fall in the same sort of month. So we were on holiday last week. Then we're going Le Touquet for a day on Saturday. Then we're off to Copenhagen on Monday. Then the following Monday, we're off to see Leo Schmetzers in Holland. But it all just happened. And then after that, we've got nothing.
Yeah,
so
right.
it's
other than going to Vegas.
Yeah, and India.
Honestly. Jeez Louise.
I was on the phone to Chris James yesterday. I was having a chat with him over Zoom yesterday, and I said that him and Harry are pretty much. We need to thank him and Harry for basically helping you keep the tourism economy in on track. Really, it's amazing. It's amazing. You deserve it, buddy. You really do. But yeah, let's talk about Alakazam. Let's talk about I mentioned Chris James, guys.
Yeah.
Like the American side of Alakazam is going from strength to strength.
It is crazy. The American side of the company has grown so rapidly, like really rapidly. And Chris he is just doing an amazing job handling Alakazam USA. I mean, he's the only other person that I could say I think probably is awake the same amount of hours working as you are.
Mm.
I speak to Chris quite a lot because I mentor him, as you know, and I speak to Chris an awful lot. And every time I speak to him, he's in the Alakazam warehouse or he's driving around to do something for Alakazam. I spoke to him the other day, a Memorial Weekend on the Monday, where it's a national holiday, and he was in the Alakazam warehouse just packing up orders, packing up orders. And I, you know, he's turned the camera around while he's in there. It looks like there's almost as many packages there as there are in the UK.
It's not far off.
Yeah, it's not far off.
Bearing in mind, we do the rest of the world as well.
Yeah, we've gone from America probably being 10% of our orders to now almost being 50%. And bearing in mind, we send out the UK head office, we send out to the rest of the world. America is only doing America. It doesn't even do Canada. We handle Canada because apparently the duties and the shipping is a lot quicker from the UK than it is from America, which is crazy. But so yeah, America's growing so fast.
And to put this into context, in the UK, you have you, Harry, Emma, Jamie, Andy,
Jenny.
Yeah. And Chris is on his own.
Yeah. I mean, but the thing is with Chris, he is in there all hours. I mean,
it's crazy.
He's in there 7 days a week. He will pop in. Luckily, I think the Alakazam warehouse is not too far from his home. So he just gets up in the morning. If he's taking the dog for a walk at the weekend or whatever, he'll go in and he'll just pack some orders and, you know, just have half hour or an hour or 2 hours or whatever. But he's constantly, whatever time of day or night it is, if I send him a message thinking, oh, he'll be awake in 5 hours, he'll read it, I'll get an answer in 2 minutes. You know, he just doesn't sleep.
I think the best thing I'd say, well, not the best thing about him, but the thing that is sort of crazy because it's so hard to find, it's not the way he fulfills the orders because he does them rapid anyway, but it's the customer service that he has, because that's the hardest part, to find someone across seas who cares about it as much as we do. Do you know what I mean? And he has that. He'll ring people if there's any delay or if the item's out of stock. He'll ring them, he'll text them, he'll speak to them on the phone. The amount of American people or customers we've had come and visit our UK store, because they're just over visiting London. They come and visit and they go, oh yeah, no, the American store's great, because we always ask them, obviously. They say, yeah, it's great. I speak to Chris all the time on the phone. If there's any issues with the order, he just rings me up. And it's just so good. And you can't really, I don't think you can teach that really. You either got that or you haven't, have you?
Yeah, Chris has really got the Alakazam ethos, and he really is part of, you know, the Alakazam family. So his customer service, he's wanting to do everything the best it can be.
Yeah.
He's a great representation for us in the US, because before Chris, every time we were shipping from the US, it was a drop shipper or someone that was doing it part-time, or, you know, and the best intentions were always there. But obviously it was always a secondary thing for them. We went to a big drop shipper just before we took Chris on. And this was a company that they are huge. They've got 4 massive drop shipping warehouses around the US. They apparently ship for shopping channels, sending out 5,000 orders a month or whatever. At that time, we were probably getting 15 orders a day. They couldn't even manage that. And it was because we were just a number. We're a number to them. And they were allocating someone, you've got 20 minutes to deal with Alakazam. And that was it. 20 minutes is up, that's it, we're going to stop. And it was at that point that we noticed that the customer service in America was not great. You know, it was not great. And plus we had 2 separate websites. So it was hard for us to handle what was going on. They weren't.
I remember the 2 websites. You had Alakazam USA at one point, didn't you?
Yeah.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, so it was really hard. And that's when we made the decision, and we sat down as a family, me, Jenny and Harry, and we said, look, you know, this is the thing. We've got 2 options here. If we want America to grow, we have got to invest in America, even though we don't know the finances are going to come in. We've got to either bite that bullet and say, okay, we're going to put everything we can into our American side of the business, or we forget it, you know, and just run it from the UK. And as a company, we went, let's put our all in, and that meant bringing on an employee, whereas at the time it certainly wasn't financially viable in America to bring an employee on. But we knew that that was the only way that we could
have our
really
trust in it as well.
Yeah,
have our trust in it before.
Have our trust in it, and also have our customers get the Alakazam experience. Because the problem is, and you know this, you run a business, we've got a drop shipper. If a drop shipper, and believe you me, they were holding on to orders for like 2 weeks where they had the stock, and it weren't being sent out. And if that's a customer's first impression of Alakazam, after the 30 years of hard work we put into building up the reputation, that's terrible. That's not what we want for our customers. And you know, we're really proud. I don't think we could have found anyone better than Chris. And it was you that introduced us to Chris.
I was the one that, because you came to me and said, do you know anyone who did this? And I said immediately.
Yeah. And I remember, because we spoke about this originally just after lockdown. And at that point, we didn't have the new website, you know, and we weren't in the position. And at that point, I don't think Chris was working, if I remember rightly. And then the moment we decided to bite the bullet, Chris had a job. And now it was like, oh no. But luckily, you know, Chris, we come up with a plan, and Chris is now full-time Alakazam. He is.
That's amazing.
He is Alakazam, and we couldn't be happier with the way it's going out there, and Chris's passion for everything.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
His passion for everything is
amazing,
unmatched.
That what you did there is a true entrepreneurial spirit. Like, that's risk taking. I mean, that you know, for people that aren't in business that don't understand, that's a huge risk. What we're talking about here is taking a big chunk of your turnover and throwing it into an area where you don't know if it's going to work or not. And there's massive competition. It's not like there's no magic shops that are native to America. Let's be honest. The world's largest magic shop is based in America. And to take a big chunk of your turnover and go, well, we're going to plow this into this and just hope it's going to work. That's the sort of thing that makes success stories, you know, taking risks like that. And it's paid off and then some, which is just, you know.
Yeah, it is good. And it's, you know, it's growing and growing and growing. And we have so many emails from, you know, our American customers that are saying how well Chris is doing. And, you know, Harry, I'm very old school. I'm not a lover of email or stuff like that. And I have told Harry and I've told Andy, if you need to speak to a customer, I don't care if they're next door or in America, ring them and speak to them. And it's that sort of personal service. One of my pet hates is not being able to, if I buy something online and I've got a question, if I have to spend 20 minutes trying to find out how to get in contact with them, that's, you know, that ain't good. And this is something that I fight against all the time, and we will never ever stop taking phone calls and stuff like that. I personally, I feel the personal touch is what a customer deserves. I think,
Especially when you're talking about a family-run business like Alakazam. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, Chris is a big part of that. Chris does the same thing.
Yeah.
If there's an issue with an order, whatever that issue is, if someone's got to wait a couple of days, then Chris will ring them. And customers appreciate that, you know, rather than just being a name and, you know, fill in this form and we'll get back to you at some point.
Yeah.
We'll ring them and we'll tell them, you know, this is the thing. It's so I'm really glad that Chris has basically embodied everything that the company's about.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, guys, is like the level of sustained growth outside of America, the level of sustained growth that I've seen in Alakazam since lockdown is nothing short of phenomenal. Like Alakazam has always been one of the biggest. Alakazam always had a great reputation. You've always been the market leader right back to when you were the first people to do DVDs and fancy packaging and, you know, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. But, you know, before lockdown, I remember coming out of lockdown because I was working with you, we'd just done Gossip. I remember you saying, oh, no, I'm not going to go to the Blackpool Magic Convention. There's no point to go to the Blackpool Magic Convention. We'll just send Wayne. And, oh, we're not going to, you know, we're probably not going to open the shop full time. We'll just have it open occasionally or, you know, yeah. And you were kind of, I'm not saying you were scaling back, but it was kind of like you weren't definitely going that direction. And then in the last like 5 years, you've just almost like taken it up 100 notches in every single way, like streaming platforms, you know, the amount of products that you're launching, the artists that you're working with, the live launch shows, your presence at conventions, going to Magic Live every year, you know, having such a big presence in Blackpool, the stuff that you're doing on social media with Harry, with Jamie, the review shows. Just every week there seems to be a new innovation. There seems to be something different. The academies, and you can just see that like there's nobody really that can touch you. Like I don't know what happened, but in the last like 4 years, it's just gone ridiculous. I'm not just saying that as somebody I'm talking about somebody I'm looking at it as from the point of view of somebody who's been running businesses my entire life, you know, and I see where you guys are going and it's just incredible.
Do you know what? It's very weird, and you're absolutely right. Lockdown, even though it was a horrible time, for Alakazam, it changed everything. It really changed everything. I think, and I'm going to be honest, and I'm always honest. I feel before lockdown, for the last 5 or 6 years, I was sort of coasting. I was coming into work, orders are coming in. It's 5 o'clock. It's time.
You can cut. You got to the point with Alakazam where you could coast because your reputation, you had, and still do have such a loyal brand of customers. You didn't really need to do that much because they were always going to come back to you. That level of people that were
and it was. So a few things happened after lockdown. One of the things was the new website. Me, Harry, and Jenny sat down, and it was Jenny that suggested we need a new website. Now, I'm usually the one, and Harry will agree with this, if it's me and Jenny having a discussion, I'm usually the one that wants to throw a lot of money at something, and Jenny's always the one that, whoa, slow down a bit. But this time, Jenny was going, we need a new website. And I'm going, oh, that website, the old Alakazam website, you would not want to know how much it's cost over the years. It was totally custom built. Every year we would give it a minor facelift. Every 3 years we would give it a major overhaul with new things added, new coding, everything else. And we had it for about 12 or 13 years. So it's sort of it done what we needed it to do, but nothing else.
Yeah.
And then we sat there, we spoke about it, and then we decided to bite the bullet, put this big investment in this new website. One of the best things I'll say we ever did. But the other thing that, two more things or three more things that really changed it. We used to release 5 products a year.
Yeah.
During lockdown, we got into the position where I was working from home doing product development, where that 5 a year become 1 a month, every month without fail, right? So that was one good thing. I had more time to focus on that. The other thing was, and I always say this, your support was incredible, really was. And that's, that's not only, talking about us, but that's the people you've introduced me to, the people that you have said, that's a great trick, show Alakazam.
Yeah.
The contacts that we've made through you have been incredible. So there's no doubt that that's a big key factor here. But for me, the major factor is that.
Yeah.
There, because he's got the passion and the drive that I had when I started Alakazam, and that I've got back now. But it's because he's looking. I've always looked ahead. When I started Alakazam, I worked for a computer company. The internet had just started. I programmed our first website from scratch. There was no shopping cart systems. There was no templates. All HTML coding. I done that. I did it. I had the passion. I remember coming home from work, going up to my bedroom and programming all night. Harry wasn't even born, and so I've done all that. And but I find now, even though I think I'm knowledgeable in a tech area and what's happening, Harry's a lot more knowledgeable than me with social media and everything else. So he's looking at areas that I don't look at now because they're not on my scope. So Harry's been a big part of where the company is, without a doubt. And not only does it make me proud that he is, but I'm just so happy that he's found his feet, because I do feel before lockdown, Harry saw himself as, my son, and it's like, what's dad saying, or what does dad want me to do? What's this? Whereas now, and this is the honest truth, I will go, Harry, how many of these should I get in? Harry, how many of those? And, Harry will, and, when you talk about taking, not saying Harry's a risk, but, when you talk about an entrepreneur taking risks, very early on, Harry would ring me and go, Dad, this guy's come up to us with this. What do you want to do? And I said, not what do I want to do? What do you want to do about it? Do you like it? How much is it going to cost? Should we invest our money in it? And I allowed Harry to make the decisions, and I didn't want to micromanage, because there's no doubt that, I'm not getting any younger and someone has to be the face of that business. And Harry is already the face of the business, without a doubt. Anyone that's been into Magic the last 6 years, I'm the old guy that pops in the shop once in a while. He's Alakazam. So nothing could make
where did that come from, Harry? Like, when did you get to the point you were like, you know what, I'm going to fully, because just for people that don't know, you perform regularly, you're a successful magician in your own right. When did you get to the point where you're like, you know what, I'm going to go all in on Alakazam? Because I've obviously known Pete for a long time, even before I started working with you, and you were never on the scene. In fact, the first time that I ever knew you was 4MG. That was the first time I was aware of Harry Nardi. I was like, oh wow, he's part of this boy band in Magic. That's cool. Oh look, he's doing Britain's Got Talent. That's brilliant. But even then, I didn't really know you as Alakazam. It was only kind of during lockdown. So what made you kind of take that kind of leap and embrace Alakazam and do it as brilliantly as you are.
First of all, I really appreciate that, by the way. Thank you very much. That was very kind. I think, to be fair, a lot of it was what you said when you let me get on with things. Because I think I know a lot of people that work with their dads and they still, like, for example, one of my friends does kitchens and he works with his dad, and his dad still is in the mindset of this is how it happens. This is what you do that, you know? And I feel like, obviously, it wasn't like that really ever that I felt, but obviously when I'm younger, you got to teach me.
Yeah, and you're scared to make decisions.
Yes, but I think from just doing it more and more and more, I think it was you really who gave me the confidence to be like, do you know what? Think about it yourself. You know, what do you think you should do? And if it doesn't go right, I didn't feel like I'd get shouted out and moaned at because you just learn it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think it was really, you really is what's done it, because it just gives you that encouragement to try new things and give it a go, and not, obviously there are going to be repercussions if you constantly just making a stupid decision, but allowing you to make the choices and get confidence in yourself. I think that's what it was, really.
Yeah, and bearing in mind, if ever there was a decision that I just saw red lights flashing, I would step in and go, look, you got to think about this side of it as well. But I
probably say that more. Just kind of lift it off the ceiling, and it just gives you confidence to be like, do you know what, actually, I can look at things, how to do this, because he's given me, free reign, really.
The other thing I'd say as well is Harry's like a great people person. He's a great businessman. He's got the head on him where he knows right from wrong. He knows a good deal when he sees one. But also, he's great with our customers, to the point that we have customers that have been customers of mine for 30 years or whatever, that will ring up Harry every week just to talk about football. And, and
just building that relationship.
Yeah, and it is. And Harry will, there's a small group of customers that are quite elderly now, but they've been customers for a long time. And if Harry doesn't hear from them in the week, he will just call them.
That's amazing. Especially knowing how busy you guys are. That's amazing.
But our customers are, we call them the Alaka fam. And I think because we've got so many regulars, they really are part of the family. They are the people we speak to every couple of days and have a little chat to on the phone. You don't get that with email correspondence.
A big pet peeve of mine as well is when people, and this is not to put anything negative because it should all just be positive here, but when certain people say like the Alaka fam is just a marketing thing, is this, is that, unless you are on this side of it, you don't see it's actually like that. We know what their families' lives are. We know about what kind of stuff they're going to do in Magic. If something's right for them, you talk to them about food, about cooking, about, do you know what I mean? Loads of stuff. Yeah. And it's not, unless you're in it, you don't understand what it's like. It's not just.
Well, I work with other companies, and I've never seen anyone else do that, or even take the level of customer service that you guys do. It's incredible. It really is.
But it is wicked, and it's all thanks to the support of everyone, obviously.
And I'll tell you, for anybody that's watching this that is kind of going, wow, is the growth really there? Like, seriously. So I release Magic through Murphy's, and I get to see, they tell me which Magic shops have bought how many items of pretty much every single Murphy's trick that I've bought out. Alakazam have bought in and sold more than any other Magic shop around the world. That's incredible. I'm pretty sure that wasn't the case before lockdown. And yet you're going up against every single Magic shop in the world, and these aren't even your own tricks. You're just taking like tricks produced by other people and selling more of them than anybody else.
Yeah. I mean, quantity of tricks, you're 100% right. We sold more of Quantum Deck in 1 hour than we would have sold a new release of ours in probably 3 weeks.
Wow.
Back then. So you know, our reach is growing, our customer base is growing, to the point now that the numbers we sell of a good products, and bearing in mind, we only get behind products that we believe in. If you go on our website, you are going to see, you know, Murphy's catalogue, like every other dealer. It's automated, boom, it's up there. But when you get an email from us, or when we talk about something in a review show, or when we do it on a social, it's because we believe in that product, and we sort of highlight it. And yeah, we can really, it shocks us the amount of units that we can shift of a product. And Quantum Deck was, I think, probably the first one that did that for us. I mean, you know.
But then even things like Leviosa, we sold the most in the world, and that's an unbelievable trick.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just, and the good thing as well is that just shows, because they're not our tricks, and obviously we release our own stuff, they're exclusive. When it's products you can get from anywhere, that shows the growth, because they're choosing, they can get that item anywhere, but they're choosing to get it from Alakazam, whether that's in America or around the world where there's a magic shop in their country. You know, that shows growth, where they can get it anywhere, but they're still choosing Alakazam.
Well, that's such a good point.
Yeah, I was going to say, actually, you made a really good point there. And I had a discussion with Chris in Alakazam USA a few months ago, and he was saying, like, you know, the orders, they're getting busier and busier and busier. And I said, the key to this is, what are they ordering? If they're only ordering Alakazam products, it's great, it's lovely, but they can only get them from us.
Yeah.
So if they want it, they have to order it. I said, the key to this is someone using us as their magic shop. They're choosing to buy from us, not buying from us because they have to. If you want Imagine by Peter and Harry, you've got to get it from Alakazam. What our key is to have our customers want to order from us. And I said, we will gauge that by the amount of regular items we sell. And that is now a majority of the orders that are coming in. Yes, there'll be an Alakazam product in there, or there might be, there might not, but people are using us as their shop in America. And that's, to us, that's the key to all of this. People are choosing to buy from us, not they have to. You know,
absolutely, it's incredible. It really is. And you touched on this before. You said, like, you know, back in the day, you'd release one product a month. Outside of the Murphy stuff and everything else, you'd release one product a month. And then after lockdown, with Harry being involved, it became once a week, and we were seeing live launches and so on and so on and so forth. But now you've changed the game again. You've changed the structure again. You're releasing so much magic that you're not able to do a live launch for everything. So now you're doing a live launch show. But one thing that you didn't mention that I think is a big part of your success is, I think that before lockdown, there were certain names that you would see again and again on an Alakazam product. There were certain artists, not that there's anything wrong with that, phenomenal names, great names, but there was a band of people, and you just knew that they would. But now it's such an eclectic range of artists, you know, and such an eclectic range of artists. Like I joked earlier on, I haven't had an Alakazam trick this year. 6 months through the year, you're like, you know, and that's not because we haven't got them. There's tricks in the warehouse, but you've got so many other artists that you're working with, and you want to get that stuff out, and that's absolutely brilliant that you've got all these different artists, such an eclectic range of people, and you're releasing so much magic. And I can honestly say, hand on heart, as somebody who reviews everything, I've not seen a bad Alakazam product. I can't think of a bad Alakazam product that's come out, because I don't think you'd allow it to come out. I don't think it would happen.
I think the good thing with that is, because we always dem stuff at conventions, and because we've got the physical shop, we have to be able to demonstrate our new releases. And so you can't have anything that is a
social media only,
or not practical, or not this or not that. So I think that's definitely a big part of it. But also, definitely since the growth, we've had so many people at conventions or email or anything like that. Like, it doesn't matter, to be fair, on the size of the name, but just for the example, I would say bigger name people coming up to us and asking, can I release something with you? Can I release something with you? Which they probably wouldn't have asked for before, really, you know,
No.
or wouldn't have approached us first. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there was a, you know, there was a time when, if you go back sort of 15, 20 years,
Yeah.
we were one of the biggest sort of production companies. I don't think there was anyone bigger than Alakazam in the UK for DVDs at the time. We were the
No,
first
I
ones
mean
to embrace that.
you were bringing out the best DVD. That for me was the golden era, and every
Yeah.
single time a DVD came out from you guys, it was gold.
And, you know, we had people approaching us then, but then, like I said, you go through this, I don't know if it's a sort of slump or the fact that there's just more competition. There's just, you know, more places for people to go and show their tricks and everything else. But now, because we are making more of a noise in the industry and people understand, I mean, Craig, you've worked with us now for what, 4 years, 5 years,
Probably 5
and
years.
you know how much effort we put into making sure a product is right.
Yeah.
You know, it's whatever the product is, if it's a packet trick through to something for the elite coin range, we want it to be the best it can be. We don't ever cut corners. We just, and I think people see that, people that are creating see that and appreciate it, because when you create a trick, it's very personal to you. And at the end of the day, it's part of your legacy. It's part of your history as a magician, as a creator. And the one thing that I've always thought is if someone releases something through Alakazam, I want them to be proud of that. You know, that's the thing. If I release something with someone and they sent me something and I looked at it and went, wow. Yeah. That's the feeling I want to give the you know, the people that deal with us, the people that come to us. I want them to feel proud they come to us and feel proud to show this off, you know,
Yeah.
and go, you know, this is great quality and I love what they did with it. Yeah.
True. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
And I know if you just didn't sign another trick again now for the next, you've probably got enough stuff that you're working on or in your warehouse to last you probably about 2 years. Like the amount of products that you've got coming out are just incredible, and such an eclectic range. And that's one more thing that I'll mention before we go into the thing we're actually meant to be talking about. Without being funny, before lockdown or in that period of time where I felt like I could tell an Alakazam trick.
Yeah.
There was like, you know, there was a certain thing that would make an Alakazam trick. I don't get that at all now, like at all. Like you can't spot an Alakazam trick because there's such an eclectic range of material that comes in. You know, just look at some of the releases that have come out recently. It's such a range. Was that done on purpose? Like when you guys started to go, right, growth time, were you like, we need to branch out, or did that just happen because of...
We've always thought we would need to, or not we would need to, we've always wanted to. The problem is finding the correct manufacturers. That's the thing. And sometimes it's just, there's a lot of things. Financially, we probably weren't in the position to, I mean, if we take a look at, let's go to the Mirage coin set.
Yeah.
So that was our first coin set.
Yeah.
The investment we put in that was huge.
I can imagine.
And we didn't know how it would go because it was the highest priced item we've ever released. So you are sitting there thinking, oh my God, are we just going to sell 4 of these? I don't know. So you're making this huge financial decision of, what do we do? Are we going to get behind it, or are we going to play it safe? But if you play it safe, you're never going to get where you want to go. You can't do it. If you're going to play it safe, you're never going to get there. And I think the Mirage coin set was a big changing point for us, because we started to realize, do you know what? We can bring out fantastic products that are a little bit more expensive, and we can sell them. Because if you have a look at Pierced, the by Simon Lipkin,
Brilliant trick.
brilliant trick. The investment in that was, you don't even want to know the research and development into that trick. And once again, we're looking at it going, it's 5 pins, you know, but it, you know, we took the, if we believe in it, we're going to find a way to do it. So I think realistically, it's probably the Mirage coin set that spun it around a bit, you know, because we found Roy Cooper's, and you know, because we had the discussion of the Mirage coin set months and months before the thing actually hit the market, probably over a year.
Yeah.
And for 2 or 3 months, I was looking for someone that could manufacture it.
Yeah, I remember that.
So that was a big turning point for us. I think when we found Roy, that opened the door to more coin sets. And then we found, and I think you introduced him to us, Drew.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Who was phenomenal. So we started to get all these different manufacturers. Harry found an amazing wallet manufacturer. I mean, amazing. And they've got nothing to do with magic.
That's great.
You know, I don't know how we found them. You know, but we've now got a manufacturer that we've got a relationship with. The quality of the wallets are beautiful.
If anyone's got a crazy horse level wallet, honestly, that is unbelievable. That's
the quality is fantastic. But once again, that was, you know, Harry done it. He found them. He sort of set up the first meeting. He had the first meeting. I don't even think I've ever dealt with them. They're Harry's, you know, Harry's supplier. Harry deals with them. Harry's got a relationship with them. So now nothing scares us. We will find, you know, the most complicated trick I think we've ever put out is Pierced. And when you look at it, you go, it's pretty simple. It isn't that simple. You try and get that made.
But there's, you know, you look at Pierce, and there's another example. You're working with people like Simon Lipkin now, Broadway headliners. You know what I mean? And there's Simon wanting to come to you and go, look, I want to work with you on this. It's just it's next level what you guys.
And just quickly, a nice thing as well is the amount of people that come back to release something else. Like he obviously, the first one with Simon, what even was the first trick with Simon? Or was it a studio live? I can't even remember.
He did a studio live, but he also did auto chair for you guys. But
yeah, he did the.
I swear, I can't remember his the first product. Anyway, we've got another one of his products coming out soon, and it's just so nice that he launched one, worked with us, and literally when we drop him off at the station, he's like, "Do you know what? I've had a really good time. Blah blah blah. Next time, there's another 3 ideas. How do you feel about these ones? How do you?" And it's nice that they're coming back, you know. And he's worked with other people. Yet he chooses to come back to Alakazam, which is nice.
But I think even when people work with us, they get that family. Feel. They enjoy.
Because it is what it is. Yeah.
We have a bit of a laugh. We produce a good product for them.
It's always relaxed, isn't it, Craig? Come on.
It's great. I love going
relaxed.
to Alakazam. I love going to Alakazam. I film a lot of my stuff off site now, and it really depresses me. I'm like, I want to go back. No, you guys are just killing it. You really are. And I know that you've got some. I want to talk about the convention, but let me ask you one question while we're talking about products. Is there one particular thing that's coming between now and the end of the year that you're really hyped for, you're really excited for? Is there that one big thing that's going to fit? Because we're 6 months through the year, so we're into the second half of the year. Is there one big thing? It could be a Christmas release, or I know you always try to do something big at Christmas, or is there something that's coming up that makes you go, yeah?
Do you know what? There are probably about 10 things I could mention. But yeah, we're excited about everything. There's, you know, we're working on a new coin set for the elite coin range.
Another really big coin set, yeah.
Yeah, which I'm really excited about. I've got some stuff happening with Mark Spellman that I'm really happy
Wow,
about.
that would be really, yeah, I remember that. I'm excited just quickly for two things, just because I know what they are. We're doing an Amazing Magic set, but a proper set, which would be really good. Real nice magnetic locking box, all the props inside, that'd be really good. And the Bottom Dollar by Simon Lipkin. I'm excited for that. I've got one on my desk. I'm going to start working on it now.
And there is another product that we're bringing out. It's another stage piece. That's the other thing. We've started to do more stage and stand-up pieces.
Yeah.
And this product is by Mark Paul, which you know, and anyone that knows anything about mentalism knows that Mark does not release much. And when he does, you just need to pick it up, because this particular thing, Mark has worked, and you would have seen it on various lives he's done and everything else, but he has personally worked it for 20 years. It's part of his show.
It's incredible.
And he's finally bringing it out. So we're making sure you're getting the best props rather than having to sit at home and try and make it. You're getting high quality props, going to last you a lifetime. And it's a stage filling 8-minute piece.
Yeah.
You know,
it's incredible.
So yeah, we've got so much stuff, and we're buzzing at the moment. We're just absolutely buzzing. We're constantly looking for great ideas to bring to market. And I'm going to throw this out there as well. I will say it's not easy to get an Alakazam release, because we have got a lot of tick boxes, and it doesn't mean that the item's bad if we don't take it. You know, we may not take it for a number of different reasons, but anyone that sends us something in, you know, if it doesn't work this time with Alakazam, it doesn't mean it's a bad trick, and it doesn't mean it won't work next time. It just has to fit into what's happening. But the other thing that I want to say, if anyone has got an idea there, send it in. Let us have a look, because the fact is, even if it's a small little effect, we look at that effect, and if it needs adding to, we'll add to it. We'll send it to people like Craig. So whatever you've created can end up being something huge, but it's still your name on the box.
Perfect example is Nightmare Recharged that recently came out.
Yeah.
You know, that was a great trick. You contacted me and said, we need some routines for this. And, you know, I put the tutorial together, but it's Jay Ferron's trick. His name's Box.
Yeah. And Jay Ferron was the Professor's Nightmare routine. That's what Jay's been doing for years as part of his talks. But when you took hold of it, it's now a completely different animal, where the fact that Professor's Nightmare is one part, you know, one phase of a multi-phase routine. It's like, you know, so, and that could happen to anyone that's got an idea for a trick. It's not, we don't just get the trick and go, yeah, it's great, just put that out. We get the trick, we look at it, we see if it can be improved or changed or bits added to it. And so the end result might be 70% Alakazam and you and everything else, and still it might only be 30% of what you've done, but it's still your name on that trick. You know?
Also, with the growth of Unlimited as well, anything like that, you know, it might not be good as a physical product to release, but it doesn't mean it can't be a download or be on Unlimited, which is growing all the time, you know. So yeah, any ideas like that are wicked.
Brilliant. And that brings us to a new innovation that you guys have done. You've done Unlimited, you've got all of this stuff going on, social media, you're absolutely killing. And so now you announced that we're going to have the very first inaugural Alakazam convention. I have been trying to get you to do this for the last 5 years. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Why is it taking so long? And why is it not like a 2-day convention? Because you would fill that room for 2 days.
Yeah. Well, we've been talking about doing a convention for over 20 years. Like literally every year or every 2 years, we talk about it. And then last year, Jamie was saying we need to do a convention. And I said, Jamie, we always say it, we get close. And a couple of times we got really close to doing it. One of the drawbacks for me when we were thinking about it is, where do we do it? Okay, we're in Ashford. So we're not round, most people are going to travel in from London, or they're in London or whatever. So the only place that was really decent enough in Ashford was a place called the Ashford International Hotel. But that's, you know, if you come out of the station, you've got to get a taxi to it. You come out of the hotel, there's nothing around you. You know, it was a good location to hold a convention, but, you know, it wasn't the right location.
Yeah, exactly.
And then we had to film a trailer for a trick. And Jamie said to me, it'd be great if we could film this trailer in a cinema. And I said, well, we've got 2 cinemas in Ashford. So I said, well, I have filmed a trailer in a cinema before, but I knew a couple of people that worked there. They've now left. So I said, I'll try and give them a ring anyway. So I gave them a call, but now you get through to the head office switchboard, and then you can't get through to anyone and everything else. So I said to Jamie, it's not gonna happen. We can't get in there. And then Darren Cullen, who works for us on the Alakazam hut in Folkestone, came in one Saturday and he said, oh, I've just finished a kids show in Ashford Cinema. And I said, oh, kids show? And he went, yeah. He goes, I was doing it for the boss's daughter, the boss of Ashford Cinema. And I said, do you know him? He went, yeah, he's a customer of yours. Like this. And I went, what? And he went, yeah, he's a customer of Alakazam. He loves magic. So I said, oh, can you do me a favour? When you speak to him, can you get him to get in touch with me? I'd love to film a trailer there. So he called me up and he went, oh, I was in your shop the other day. So I knew who he was, but I never knew he worked for the cinema. And I said, like, you know, we want to film a trailer. And he went, oh, yeah, pop in, we'll have a meeting. So we went in, had a meeting, and we arranged the day to film the trailer. So me and Harry and Jamie and Jenny went in, we filmed the trailer. And then we were sitting there having a cup of tea, and we were just saying, oh, you know, thank you for this, and it's great, and thanks for allowing us to do this. Yeah, it's great, this, that, and the other. And then Harry, I think, said, oh, this would be a lovely place for a convention, if only. And he went, well, we do have conventions here. And then that was it. That was it. And that's when we went, oh my God. So we come away.
Perfect place.
Yeah, I mean, it is great. And then we come away and said, look, you know, this is now a possibility. Now, if I tell you the cinema is here, they serve food, they serve drink, but underneath the cinema is a big sports bar. Next door to the cinema is a hotel, like literally 25-second walk.
Car park was free after 3, about a 1-minute walk.
Yeah, big car park, yeah, free after 3 o'clock. Just a little bit down the road, you've got another hotel, if this one's full. That's about a 2-3 minute walk. You're slap bang in the middle of Ashford Centre. So if you don't want to eat what's in there or what's downstairs, anything you can imagine is a 5-minute walk.
Italian, Indian, Chinese, Turkish, anything.
Everything's there. You've got the Ashford Designer Outlet Centre, a 10-minute walk. It's like everything was perfect. So we come back and we went, hang on a minute, this may work. You know, we've now got a venue that could work. We didn't know the cost of it at that stage. But we went, we've got a venue that could work. So we sat down and we went, okay, it's our first convention. Who would we like to have at this convention? Okay, we want to have lecturers. We want to put on a show. So we made a list, and then basically Harry rung some, I rung some. Everyone said, yeah, we'd love to do it. We'd love to be involved. So we made sure all that was in place. So we knew the lineup, and then we went and had a couple of meetings with the cinema, and then that was it. It's now done, and we just said, right, let's book it, and then we can't change our mind. That's it. It's done. Right.
That's great. And you know what's really cool about this, right? So I've had so many people message me. I don't know how ticket sales have gone. I assume they've gone really well by the amount of people that have messaged me. So I've had tons of people message me saying, "Are you going to be at the Alakazam convention? I'm really excited to go there. Are you coming? Is Ryland coming? Are you guys coming to the Magic?" And then I was doing mentoring calls on the Netrix yesterday, and I spoke to a guy called Aries in Canada. He's flying over to the UK just to come to the Alakazam convention. He's never got a pool or anything. He's coming over just for the Alakazam convention. I've spoken to people in different countries that are literally flying over to the UK just for this one-day convention. That doesn't happen with a one-day convention ever. You fly over for somewhere like Blackpool. You fly over for somewhere like Magic Live. You don't fly over for a one-day convention. And the fact that so many people have bought tickets and so many people are committing to travel across the world, when let's to be clear, all you've announced is a fucking cinema. You haven't said who's there. You haven't said, there's hot dogs and there's a venue. You haven't said dealers. You haven't said lecturers. You haven't said who's on the gala show. Just purely off the back of saying, we're going to have a convention, has it created this much buzz? And I've never seen that in the Magic community before. And that just shows the brand and the power of the community that follow Alakazam, the Alakafam. Because you just say, we're going to do this. And you've got people going, yep, I don't care what's on. I trust that Alakazam, I trust that Harry and Pete and everyone else in the team are going to put on an incredible convention. And they're spending money, a fortune on travel and airfare, just purely based off the fact that they trust you guys.
Yeah.
I think that when you put it like that, it is crazy, like a one-day thing. Now, the great thing, just quick talking about the venue, I know we will announce lecturers and things like that, but just so you guys understand, right? So there's going to be places so you can jam and session and meet new people in comfy chairs right next to the bar, affordable drinks and food and snacks, everything like that, right? Pick a mix bit, great, right? But up the other end, there's going to be, that's where the dealer's going to be, right? So they're going to be in separate ends of the room, and it is a long room, and it'll be fine because they'll be separated. You've got obviously the dealers up there, so you can go and look at, and we're going to pick the dealers. They're going to have new stuff. They're going to have demo stuff.
It's not Blackpool. There's not hundreds of dealers, you know.
We're going to, pick a few. Then we've got, when the lectures are happening, you walk into the cinema screen, and that's why tickets are so limited, because everyone who's got a ticket will get a cinema seat. They're tiered seating, they're comfy seating. The magician will be lecturing on the stage at the front of the screen, but on the screen we'll have close-ups or cameras of what you need to see if you can't see it up close. So you can sit back, recline in your chair, watch the magician talking, which will be fantastic anyway. But if you can't see the bits you need to see, which you will be able to, there'll be a big screen up there showing close-ups of angles and things like that, which is just unbelievable. And when you think about it, that is the perfect place for a convention. There's no one level seating. You got to look behind this. You got to stand up. You can't quite see it. Your tiered seat and looking down at a magician is fantastic.
Yeah. And we did test it out actually, because we organised the Michael Lamar tour while he was over here, and we hired out the Ashford International Hotel for his lecture that he was doing for Alakazam. And it was just before the lecture, 2 weeks before the lecture, that's when we'd done the deal with Ashford Cinema. And I cancelled the International Hotel, paid up, I had to pay them because, the cancellation time had gone. But for the people coming to watch Michael lecture, I knew they would have a better experience in the cinema. So we lost all that money, but that's not what it's about. We then had it in the cinema and it was fantastic. Like you said, not only is there tiered seating, not only is there Michael Amar, but there's popcorn.
Yeah, great.
You've got popcorn.
Just one other thing. I know obviously it is a one-day convention. However, that's on a Saturday, and on the Sunday, because the actual Alakazam Magic Shop's about a 5-minute drive, we're opening up a shop on a Sunday. So if you're down here, then you can come and visit the shop as well. You know, obviously it's only a small shop, but
and there may be something happening on the Friday evening if people are coming early. Now, it may be an additional ticket thing. We don't know yet because we haven't decided what it's going to be. But at least, or at the least, the artists will be at the venue on the Friday night. So if anyone's turning up early, they can come in, sit around with us, drink, jam, chat, whatever. That's the, you know, the least that's going to happen. But there might be something else happening. But we will let people that bought a ticket know when we've decided what it's going to be.
And this isn't FOMO. The tickets are going to sell out.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. We are now, I think we're now 65 or 70% already sold. Now, bearing in mind, they are limited tickets because, as Harry said, there are only so many seats in a cinema screen, and we
you can't
cannot
overcapacity.
oversell.
No, the health and safety and regulations and so on and so forth. Yeah.
And the first row is gone because that's for the tech equipment anyway. So you can't have the first row. So that row's gone. So everyone that books a ticket has got a seat. So that means you've got a seat for your lecture, you've got a seat for the show in the evening.
Yeah. Honestly, it's so, and the fact that, 70% of tickets are gone and we've only just announced the date, there's nothing else to it. I mean, they're going to get snapped up. As soon as we start announcing people, they're going to get snapped up. So,
And how many, I know you can't announce names that at the moment, that's fine, but how many lectures are there going to be throughout the day?
Right, so there are 4 lectures throughout the day, and there's a gala show in the evening, and obviously there's time for dealers and everything.
And one of the lecturers is flying over, and it's their very first UK one, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, that's exciting.
And the thing is, you know, part of me wished it had been a 2-day convention because there are so many ideas that we have for the convention. I think one day is going to be phenomenal, but we are cramming a lot into one day. I mean, it's one full day of magic, you know? We're cramming a lot into that day.
Literally can't wait.
Yeah, and we're so excited. So excited.
You should be. This is going to be amazing. This is going to be amazing. Now, tickets are available on the Alakazam website.
Yes.
And genuinely they will sell out, especially when you start announcing names. So you can get them on the Alakazam website. The dates are May the
9th, isn't it?
Yeah, May the 9th.
May the 9th, but obviously there might be something on the 8th and the shop is open on the 10th.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can make a whole weekend of it if you want to. And Ashford's a lovely place to go. I know I've been there many times now. Brilliant. And are all the Alakazam team are going to be there, are they? Are you going to have, you know, because at Blackpool, because it's so far away from Kent, you know, it's normally you and Harry and maybe Jamie, but are you going to have like, like Andy there and everybody?
Yeah, everyone,
Emma and...
Yeah, the whole Alakazam team are going to be there. Now, transport-wise as well, because it's Ashford, there is a fast train from London. So if you're travelling into London, it's 37 minutes from Ashford.
Direct train.
And the cinema is a 10-minute direct route. It's literally one road. Yeah. 10-minute walk. Boom, and you're there. Hopefully, next year, they're going to be reintroducing Eurostar to stop at Ashford International.
Nice.
Because they stopped that during lockdown. So that means anyone coming in from Europe, it's the Eurostar, get off, and it's a 10-minute walk. So we're keeping our fingers crossed that the Eurostar starts stopping there again.
The other thing I will just say as well, there's going to be little, not Easter eggs, but just fun we can have at the convention. Because it's an independent venue, they can change pretty much anything they want. You know, the names of certain things like that. So it's going to just be a fun day all round. You know what I mean? Really just good vibes. Everything just... And the thing is, the Alakazam, it has got the best community. Everyone's so fun. And the amount of people now that are literally like best mates, their families go on holiday together and they met through coming to the shop and just chatting one day. Like, you're going to meet so many nice people as well. It's going to be wicked.
And if you've never been to a convention before, this is the one to start.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
Even if you're by yourself, come down. You're never going to be left out of anything. You know, you'll be introduced to everyone. No one's going to put you on a spot. Show me a trick. No one's going to be like that. You know, you're just going to go there, have fun, learn, chat, eat popcorn. Great, isn't it?
yeah.
It's brilliant, guys. Absolutely brilliant. And before I let you go, are there any conventions that you're going to be appearing at this year? I know you're going to be at Magic Live, right? Is there any others that you're going to be at? Because I know you don't do. That's the other thing. You guys don't go to many conventions because you're so busy in the shop. I mean, it's a big thing to take time out to go to a convention. So
yeah, I think it is just Magic Live now this year.
I can't think of any others. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is just Magic Live, and then
which we're planning our releases for Magic Live, by the way. So there'll be brand new releases there, including hopefully Bottom Dollar, which is the one that I was just talking about, which I'm really excited for. That should hopefully be released at Magic Live.
Lovely.
that's amazing. There you go. Wow. It just keeps going. It's that whole momentum thing, isn't it? You know, you've got the momentum going, and it blows my mind seeing everything that you're doing. And every week there's a new announcement, and every week there's something else happening. Congratulations on all of your success. You know, hard work really does pay off, and you guys are just amazing. You really are. And I'm a proud member of the Alakazam fam. So
Too right.
And we're proud to have you.
Correct. Yeah. No, I really appreciate everything you've done.
Hey,
And
can't do anything for you guys.
I do want to say as well, a big thank you to your viewers as well, because I've got no doubt a lot of them are our customers. And from the back of you talking about us and introducing our products to them. So, you know, thank you to everyone that watches Craig's videos for your support, because I look at the comments underneath your videos, and when you talk about us and people make a comment, it really does mean a lot, because it takes a lot to put a post up, especially a post of praise. It doesn't happen, you know, very often. And to read comments like that really make us feel, do you know what, we are doing something right. And that's all we want to do, is do something right.
Yeah.
You are. And long may it continue, guys. You're doing fantastic. So if you want to check out Alakazam anywhere, you can do so on their socials. They're all over the socials. Every Tuesday they have a live show, unless Pete's on holiday, and then it's, you know, sometimes they murder people. But then live launches at the end of every month. Harry's on social media pretty much daily, and then obviously you've got the website. You've got the Unlimited, which is the best value in Magic. So much stuff going on. Just go to the website and check it all out. And remember, they can ship all over the world now, thanks to Chris over in America. No matter where you are, they've got you covered. So there's no reason to not become an Alakazam customer, and there's no reason to not get on their mailing list, because then you're going to get the emails out about all the good stuff and get the app as well. God, the amount of stuff you guys do is ridiculous. I could just spend 15 minutes talking about it. But for now, guys, thank you so much. I'll see you again soon. But I really appreciate you coming on the channel. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Cheers.
No problem.
Cheers, Craig.
Guys, leave a comment down below. Let Harry and Pete know what you thought. I'll be back again tomorrow with another video. I'm here every single day. But until then, go check out Alakazam. Leave a comment down below. On behalf of Harry and Pete, my name's Craig, and this is Magic TV.